Welcome back, everybody, to another edition of Major Push Wrestling, where we give wrestling the major push that it deserves. This is episode 7. I am your host, Gino. I am joined once again by C-Rod. How are you doing today?
I'm heated, man. I'm heated. Just like
Well,
everybody else, we want truth.
oh man, he hit me
Probably
with the
can't
"we
see
want
it.
truth." You
We
got to hold
want
it closer
truth
to yourself. Yeah,
to myself.
yeah.
Yeah, but it says we
There we
want
go.
truth. Hashtag we want truth.
All
Uh,
right. Well, we talked about that last night on the No DQ review, so go check out that channel for sure. Um, Yeah, it was surprising, but at the end of the day, TKO is gonna do whatever it can to try and save some money, and he's been there for a long time, so I'm sure he costed them a pretty penny. Either way, we're gonna move on to the future, which is not a 53-year-old man, but in fact the Money in the Bank matches and Cena ruining wrestling and the women's intercontinental title. So we're going to be talking about Money in the Bank. It is live this coming Saturday, June 7th from Los Angeles. Uh going to be an exciting show. Money in the Bank is one of those pay-per-view gimmicks that is over with me. It's meaningful, it's impactful for potentially the rest of the year. So all of those things make it an exciting upcoming event for me. Are you excited or are you not excited, C-Rod?
yeah, I love the ladder matches. They're always great. The people that are in these matches this year, I think are top competitors. We'll talk about that. And I just love the high flying action. I feel like they don't do enough ladder matches or TLC matches anymore. They used to pop up all the time on Raws and SmackDowns back in the day, and now it's really just kind of a PLE thing. So I think it's going to be a great PLE, and excited to see the story move forward.
Heck yeah, except for that TLC match we had after WrestleMania this year for some odd reason on a SmackDown. You're absolutely right. So we're going to get right into it. We have the Women's Intercontinental Championship on the line with Lyra Valkyria defending against her mentor, Becky Lynch. Um, if this feud doesn't lead to Becky having the championship, I don't understand what the whole point of it is because I don't think Lyra's getting too over. I mean, I guess she was kind of over when she came out on Raw this week, but I just feel like this whole raise my hand or you never get to fight for the title again thing is I don't know. I'm just not really interested in it. I just want whatever they're going to with this to be over, and hopefully it is on Money in the Bank. I haven't looked at the betting odds yet off the top of my head. They're probably not going to give me what I want, so it's probably going to be a Lyra Valkyria retention in some fashion that's relatively decisive. C-Rod, what do you think?
Yeah, I'm in the same boat. Let's get this over with. We've seen this match on regular TV or I guess on Raw. There's not a lot of stipulations to it. Yeah, the stipulation is raise my hand or never do the title. So let's see somebody take it and move on and get either Lyra a new opponent or Becky a new storyline. But I agree, no excitement here.
Okay. Well, despite our excitement overall for the premium live event, that just speaks to how the ladder matches and what I presume will be the main event uh, and how they impact us. So we'll go on to the women's Money in the Bank match, and that is going to be six women: Naomi, Julia, Roxanne Perez, the GOAT Alexa Bliss, Rhea Ripley, and the hottest women's act in wrestling today, Stephanie Vaquer. Um, for me, these matches can go a lot of different ways. I'm not somebody that's upset having like three former world champions in the match because it adds some credibility to it. Rhea never having been in a ladder match, Alexa, two-time former winner, and you've got, I mean, the three NXT women, Julia, Roxanne Perez, and Stephanie Vaquer are definitely the future of the WWE. mostly Stephanie Becker. They're pushing her to the absolute moon, and I'm here for it. I'm here for it. And then you turn around, and Shawn Michaels has got another bombshell waiting in the wings. He just cannot seem to miss with the women's wrestling in NXT. As much as I want Alexa Bliss to win and be on top, I just don't really feel like the storyline is for her right now. I want it to be Stephanie, but traditionally, Money in the Bank, these contract holders are heels because it's kind of a heelish thing to do. So I think she's going to be close, like with like ready to unclasp it, and then Julia is going to push her over, or Roxanne's going to push her over, and I think it's going to be Julia getting that. Even though you could argue that it should be Roxanne more, so it's going to be my runner-up is going to be Roxanne. My first overall pick is going to be Julia, and my dark horse, who it should be Stephanie Vicker. So it'd be the three young girls, one, two, three. You were making some faces there, C-Rod. I'm interested to see what you think about the kind of three veterans, three of them former world champions, and three basically new call-ups. I don't think that's an accident. And
Yeah.
who are your one, two, three? You know, your number one you think's going to win, and your runner-up, and then an honorable mention.
Yeah, so I mean I texted this in the group chat, right? I was very shocked that they put Julia, Stephanie, and Roxanne in the match all at once. Like they're pushing all three of these girls so heavily, women, I'm sorry, they're pushing these three women all heavily at the same time, and I love it. It's a great injection of youth. All three are fantastic. I would love to see Roxanne win. You're not wrong. This rocket could be given to any of those three young women, and I just I personally would love it to be Roxanne. They're kind of throwing her into the Judgment Day, so I don't know if they throw her into the Judgment Day and also give her the briefcase to kind of grow that segment. Who knows? She is the heel type that you mentioned. Just like Julia, she could be heel winner. And I've loved her. I've talked her up the last few weeks here. So that's my pick there. Uh, do they give it to mommy? I think it kind of that would speed up her redemption timeline. So I don't see that happening. I think she's just a great face to have in that match. Um, Not a dark horse, but what a lot of people seem to think might happen is Naomi winning. At the same time, they do kind of seem to be pushing Naomi, but it's like sometimes, it's like every other week Naomi's getting a push. She's being put in big matches with, Bianca and this storyline with Jade Cargill. I wouldn't like to see her win at all, but I think she could be a dark horse to kind of take this home if they swerve in a different direction. And it's not, hey, Alexa or Mommy, or it's not, hey, these three up and comers, but Naomi to me could be the dark horse. Again, just like yourself, I would love to see Stephanie also win it. For me, it could be between her and Roxanne. So those are kind of the three that I'm thinking there that I'd like to see. At the end of the day, if any of these women win, I think it moves some sort of storyline forward and it makes sense.
All right, C-Rod, thank you so much. We will see what happens. And no matter what happens, whether you agree with me, whether you agree with C-Rod, whether you have something completely different, let us know in the comments section. We look forward to reading all of that. Now I'm going to move on to the men's Money in the Bank match. This is a different group of people than the way that they've positioned the women's Money in the Bank. We've got LA Knight, the new coming Penta, Andrade, you've got Solo Sikoa, you've got El Grande Americano, and you have Seth freaking Rollins. Now, if anybody's been watching us for any length of period of time, I'm sure they have an idea where you might at least what you would want to happen with this. We'll get to that in a second. As I said before, a heel Money in the Bank holder is kind of the MO of the WWE. And right now, there are really only two faces in this match.
Yeah.
The people want LA Knight to have it because we feel that he has earned an opportunity to carry the championship. Yes, he had his matches against Roman Reigns where he was so close to winning and then the bloodline would interfere. I mean, you could pick any match that he had over the last 2024, 2023. Uh, but it just, wasn't his time then. I don't think that anybody believes that he's going to get a solid push. You hear the rumors backstage of LA Knight pushing back against dumb booking or what he thinks is dumb booking, and that creating heat with Triple H, which I don't really believe, just because people who pushed back against their bad booking, Triple H was one of those people. So like
Yeah.
you're allowed to speak up, but if you go out there and you do it, you go out there and you do it. I just feel like I don't know how truthful I believe the entirety of those reports. But anyway, I don't think it's going to be LA Knight. It really should, because then the fans would believe that he's going to get a world title run. But right now, with Jey Uso holding it until at least Monday, which I would really hope that they smarten up and give Gunther the title back, it's probably not going to be LA Knight, even though that's what the fans are going to want. When he's climbing the ladder, it will be the loudest. That is what I'm predicting. That is it. That you can take that to the bank. Now, who should it be? It should be either Seth Rollins or Solo Sikoa. Seth having the briefcase is going to lead us towards him being the world champion, which is what needs to happen. Like he said in his promo, like I actually need this. Like it needs to be on Seth to have this thing take on more of a life of its own and not just kind of hit her out. It could be Solo because he cost Jacob Fatu the match, the entrance match to this event, and him holding the briefcase and Solo or and Jacob Fatu having the title. It could be an interesting dynamic, and Solo, I think, is somebody that universally gets booed, even when he's with Jacob Fatu. So I just because it means more storyline wise, I'm gonna say Seth Rollins is my number one, Solo Sikoa is my number two. And by golly, if they have the gumption, the grapefruits, you'll give it to LA Knight and you'll let us be able to and yeet all the way to the bank. C-Rod,
Yeah.
you've been waiting patiently. We appreciate you. Who do you think is going to win this Money in the Bank match? Who do you want to win? What are your runner up and your dark horse as well?
This one's hard for me. Much harder than the women's. I am complete opposite of you. I do not want Solo to win at all. I do. I just, the solo, any solo storyline for me is just a little boring. I actually can't wait to see Fatu separate entirely from that. And what you just described is actually, you know, Tiffany and Nia all over again, just on the men's side. If Solo were to win Money in the Bank and be so close to Fatu and want to win that ship, just kind of the same way Tiffany and Nia had that back and forth, and it's just kind of a rinse and repeat, just a different gender. Um, Seth, unfortunately, predictably, I think Seth has to win, and you're right, he has to have the championship at some point for that faction to make sense. But I actually don't want Seth to win this. I think Seth and the faction are powerful enough to where they come out every week without a briefcase to be a part of that main title conversation. He doesn't need that. I think he can get to the title in a different way. What way is that? I'm not sure. But I don't really want to see the money in the bank on him, every week with the kind of fake cash-ins. Like I think it would kind of bring down his aura and make him seem a little bit more weak if, week after week he went to go cash in that briefcase and he couldn't or something happened, right? Because if he goes to cash that in, you have Bronson and you have Breaker next to you, like what's stopping you? And it's going to be interference kind of every week, and maybe that's how you keep Cody and Jay and Punk and everybody involved. Who knows? I want to see LA Knight win it. I think it's the most entertaining part. I would love to see, in the complete opposite of what I just said about Seth, I would love to see LA Knight out there every week in all of the champions' faces. Like, I'm coming after you, I'm coming after you, and kind of make him a little bit more, take his personality and really put it out there and have him on both brands and do what he does, and that's entertain the crowd. So those are kind of my three. With Seth, with LA Knight, and who was the other one? Oh, I said not Solo. So my dark horse would be Penta. He's entertaining. He wouldn't be able to cut the promos, so I know that he's probably not going to be the winner. But this is going to be a great match with having him and Andrade and not Chad Gable in this match. I think there's going to be a lot of great high flying spots, and I'm looking forward to this. I think the biggest question mark is just going to be who is going to win.
And that's the selling point of events like Money in the Bank, Elimination Chamber, Royal Rumble, these multi-man matches. People complain about multi-person matches, and to me, it actually adds some intrigue to the match itself. We might have a clear-cut idea of who's coming out on top or whatever, whatever. Or we might not at all. But you're going to get different interactions. You're going to get shorter interactions. You're going to get stories told, multiple different stories told, and storyline threads put out there. And it's just one of the best things. So hopefully they book it. I don't want to say right because that's not the right word. Hopefully they book it entertainingly,
Yeah.
right? That's at the end of the day, as much as I hate The Rock as his wrestling character right now, we have to enjoy the ride that they're taking us on if they're making it an enjoyable one. So I'm just going to sit back and enjoy no matter what I want to happen, checking the expectations at the door, and just going to enjoy what it is. And I honestly would prefer Logan Paul to have Money in the Bank, but he's not in that match. He's in the main event with John Cena teaming up uh, together against the American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes, and main event Jey Uso. So we've got both top champions not defending their title, but one of them might get cashed in on later that evening. If there's a beatdown so severe, you never know. I expect that to happen? Probably not. But if Seth wins, I do expect him to make his face shown in the main event. Maybe even backstage after he wins, being like, "All right, don't get hurt out there," something like that. It'd be great. For this one, you're gonna get Cena probably pretty booed, but he's in Los Angeles, so he still might get cheered because he's made a lot of people in that town a lot of money. So maybe he doesn't get the boos that you would expect from putting him with Logan Paul. I, for one, wouldn't be booing either of them, except sometimes when I just want to like have fun with the rest of the crowd. But like I do like Logan Paul's work. I do like John Cena, obviously. Um, I do like yeeting and I do like singing Cody Rhodes' song. We got all of that at Saturday night's main event, which was awesome to be there with you. But as far as this match, I don't know who might come out on top. It feels like Cena shouldn't be losing. It feels like Logan shouldn't be losing. It feels like Jay shouldn't be losing. So by process of elimination, Cody's going to take the pin probably from Logan. I think Logan's going to pin Cody. He can say I beat the champion before Cena. He can say that he's got a win over the world heavyweight champion because via association, and he could take that into SummerSlam and hopefully leading towards something to go with that. So I'm gonna pick heels win. Cody takes the fall. Logan is the pinfall. Now if I don't see a pulverizer though, I'm a bad time because we didn't really get to see one. I don't believe at Saturday night's main event, and if we're not getting to see that sick, awesome finisher, then I don't know why he invented it in the first place. C-Rod, what do you think? Are the heels or the faces going over? Who's taking the fall? What's going to happen?
Yeah, the Paul is it pulverizer, right?
It's the
Pulverizer.
pulverizer, yes.
Yeah, it's a pretty cool move. I'd like to see him do that move against some of the bigger guys. I just don't know if he can the way that he has to lift them up and flip them.
Hmm.
But he did hit it on AJ Styles at WrestleMania, right? Yeah, if I recall. And the other time I think was against Rey Mysterio, which was his first time, a little bit easier. He was probably practicing. But different story, off on the tangent. On the match itself, I just, I'm enjoying watching Cena wrestle, even if some of the storylines haven't been the strongest. We've talked about that. And I like watching Logan Paul wrestle. For me, in person, I love to boo the heck out of them because, like you said, even though I enjoy them, the best part about the heels, the villains, is getting to boo them and just give them that heat. So being a part of that crowd action and raining down on them, I think is a part of the process. Uh, where does this really go? I could agree with your take. I think they just keep making Logan look stronger and stronger. They seem to really want him in that, undisputed world heavyweight kind of top superstar conversations this year. It seems to be leading up to like the summer of Logan Paul. At some point, they might put that strap on him, and the WWE universe might lose their mind. I don't think Cena loses a match until he loses the title. The way things are going and the way these matches are unfolding, I just don't see him losing at all for the last few handful of matches that we get. And I would tend to agree that Cena and Paul will take this one home.
All right. Thank you, C-Rod, for sharing your thoughts. And this goes out to everybody watching, whether during the live premiere or on demand. Leave your comments below. Let us know. We've got a few days. We've got a whole SmackDown to happen beforehand. For all we know, we're going to get another match. For all we know, whoever goes over on Friday, it could change our picks. We reserve the right to have our picks changed. We'll just comment on the video before the PLE starts and if we want to change something. So thank you everybody for rocking with us. C-Rod, where can the people find you?
People will be able to find me in a few more weeks. That is still underneath, under wraps, I should say. The social has not taken its form yet, but a few more weeks, and the people will know where to find me. But other than that, I'm a masked face on YouTube and Instagram at the moment.
Sounds good. He's a lucha libre wrestling talker over here right now. All right, well, I really appreciate you joining me. And everybody watching, we appreciate it. Don't forget to leave a like, share this video with somebody that you think might enjoy wrestling. If you want to come be a guest on the show, reach out to me. I'd be happy to welcome you on. As always, C-Rod, you're the man. Thanks so much for joining me.
Appreciate you having
And to
me.
everybody else, we'll catch you on the next one. Bye bye.